welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make these cute little teddy bears, and you can see the size here, probably 3 to 4 inches the height of them. So let's make one. So I'm gonna start with the body, but to make the body first I have to make the legs. To make these teddy bears you can use any kind of yarn. I'm using this thin yarn, and for the yarn I'm using 1.5 mm crochet hook. You can use the 4-ply acrylic yarn also, but the bear's height will be bigger, so it will depend on your yarn, on your hook. So let's begin. To make the leg, first I'll make a magic ring, and inside this magic ring I'll make 6 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Then tighten the magic ring, and for the next round I will increase in alternate stitches. So in the first stitch here I'll make 1 single crochet. In the second stitch I'll make the increase, that is 2 single crochet in the same stitch. Again in the next stitch 1 single crochet, increase in the next stitch, and for the last time 1 single crochet and then the increase. This is the second round, and in the second round there will be 9 single crochets. Now for the third round, in the first stitch, in the next 2 stitches I'll make 1 single crochet. After 2 stitches I'll increase in the third stitch, that is 2 single crochets in the same stitch. Again in the next 2 stitches I'll make 1 single crochet in each stitch. Then in the third one I'll make the increase. Again in the next 2 stitches 1 single crochet in each stitch, and in the next stitch 2 single crochets, that is the increase. And in the third round there will be 12 single crochets. If you want, if you can't keep on with this counting, you can use this stitch marker on your first stitch of every round, but as it is very small legs, you can see here, I'll just count my stitches. So for the third round I'm gonna make, in the next 3 stitches I'm gonna make 1 single crochet in each stitch. Then in the fourth stitch I'll increase. Again in the next 3 stitches 1 single crochet in each stitch. Then in the next stitch I'll increase by 2 single crochets, and for the last time in the next 3 stitches 1 single crochet in each stitch and 2 single crochets in the last stitch, and there will be 15 single crochets, and then I'll fasten off and leave a small tail because I don't need to sew it. I'll cut my yarn here. Okay, and then I'll make the second leg but I'll not fasten off. Instead, I'll join this leg with that. Let me make the second leg here, and I have made the second leg, but I didn't fasten off because I'm gonna join with the first leg here. And this is the second leg, and I'll join with the first leg here. I'll also hide this cut off yarn. Now I'll make one single crochet in each stitch in this round. I'll also stitch mark the first stitch, the joining stitch, like that, and I'll continue on making one single crochet in each stitch, 15 for this leg and 15 for the second leg, and there will be total of 30 single crochets in this round. And that's it. I'll tighten this yarn, the cut off yarn, so that there is no large gap, like that. And I'll continue on joining with the other leg by making one single crochet in each stitch. But before that, I'll make a slip stitch in this. This is the starting chain, but I'll make a slip stitch in the previous stitch, so that there are no large gaps. But when you are doing the second round, remember that this stitch, slip stitch, will not be counted as a stitch. My stitch marker got hidden. This is the stitch marker here, you see. So in the first round of the body we made 30 single crochets. Now for the second round of the body, in the next 4 stitches I'll make one single crochet in each stitch. Then in the 5th stitch I'll increase by making 2 single crochets in the same stitch. Again in the next 4 stitches, one single crochet in each stitch. Then in the 5th stitch again I'll increase by making 2 single crochets in each stitch, and I'll continue doing all over the second round. In the second round there will be a total of 36 single crochets. And I have completed the second round for the body. Now for the third round I'll make one single crochet in each stitch, so that there will be 36 single crochets in the third round. And from the third row to the 7th row I'll make one single crochet in each stitch. So from the third row to the 7th row there will be 36 single crochet, 36 single crochets in each round, and that is a lot of stitches. So I'll come back after I finish making the 7th row, and I have completed the 7th stitch. So I did total of 5 rounds of 36 single crochets. Now it's time for the decrease. So for the 8th round, I'm gonna make in the next 4 stitches I'm gonna make 1 single crochet in each stitch. 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4, and then I'll decrease in the next 2 stitches, that is 2 single crochets together. And I'm making invisible decrease here. If you don't know how to make the invisible decrease, I made a video of that previously, and I'll leave the link in the description. You can check that out. After 4 single crochets, I'm making decrease again in the next 4 stitches, 1 single crochet in each stitch, and then decrease again, and I'll continue doing this throughout the whole round, and there will be total of 30 single crochets in the 8th round. For the 9th round, I'm gonna make 1 single crochet in each stitch. So in the 9th round, there will be 30 single crochets. And this is the 10th round. Now for the next round, again I'll make the decrease. So in the next 3 stitches, 1 single crochet in each stitch, and then I'll make the decrease. Again in the next 3 stitches, 1 single crochet in each stitch, and then decrease. Again in the next 3 stitches, 1 single crochet in each stitch, and then decrease. And I'll continue on making the same pattern for the 11th round, and in this round there will be 24 single crochets. Now for the next round, this 12th round, I'm gonna make 1 single crochet in each stitch. There will be no decreases. So in the 12th round, so in the 12th round there will be 24 single crochets. I'm gonna decrease in the next round. So in the next 2 stitches, I'm gonna make 1 single crochet in each stitch. Then I'll make the decreasing stitch. Again in the next 2 stitches, 1 single crochet in each stitch, and then the decrease one. And I'll continue on making this for the 13th round, and there will be 18 stitches in this 18th round. 14th round, and in this 14th round, as usual, I'm gonna make 1 single crochet in each stitch, so that there will be 18 single crochets in the 14th round. After completing the 14th round, I'm gonna fasten off and leave a very long tail to, so that I can sew the body with the head later on. And there you go, I completed the round, and then I'm gonna fasten off here and leave a very long tail. I'm sorry for the lighting. Here I'm leaving enough tail so that I can sew the body to the head later. Also gonna remove the stitch marker, and I'll fill out this body later. Now it's time for the head. Now it's time to make the head. So to make the head, I'll first make a magic ring, chain 1, and inside this magic ring I'm going to make 6 single crochets. After 6 single crochets, I will just tighten the magic ring, and for the second round I'm going to make 2 single crochets in each stitch. So in the second round I'm going to increase in every stitch, so that there will be 12 single crochets in the second round. And 12. This is the second round. Now after this round I'm going to use a stitch marker there. Now for the third round, in the first stitch I'm going to make 1 single crochet, then in the next stitch 2 single crochets, again in the next stitch 1 single crochet, and then in the next stitch 2 single crochets. So in the third round I am increasing in every other stitches, so that there will be 18 single crochets in the third round. For the fourth round, in the first stitch I'm going to make 2 single crochets, then in the next 2 stitches I'm going to make 1 single crochet in each stitch, again in the next stitch 2 single crochets, then in the next 2 stitches 1 single crochet, again in the next stitch 2 single crochets, then in the next 2 stitches 1 single crochet in each stitch, and I'll do this all over the round, fourth round, and there will be 24 single crochets in the fourth round. For the fifth round, in the next 3 stitches I'm going to make 1 single crochet in each stitch, then in the fourth stitch I'm going to make 2 single crochets in the same stitch, then again in the next 3 stitches 1 single crochet in each stitch, and then in the fourth one I'm going to make 2 single crochets in the same stitch, again in the next 3 stitches 1 single crochet in each stitch, and then in the next stitch 2 single crochets in the same stitch, and in the fifth round like this. So in the fifth round there will be 30 single crochets. For the sixth round, in the first stitch, I'm going to increase by making 2 single crochets in the same stitch, and then in the next 4 stitches I'm gonna make 1 single crochet in each stitch. Again in the next stitch 2 single crochet in the same stitch, and then in the next 4 stitches 1 single crochet in each stitch. And I'll continue following this pattern throughout the 6th round, and there will be 36 single crochets in the 6th round. For the 7th round, I'm going to make in the next 5 stitches I'm going to make 1 single crochet in each stitch. 3, 4, 5, and then in the next stitch, that is the 6th stitch, I'm going to make the increase by making 2 single crochets in the same stitch. Again in the next 5 stitches 1 single crochet in each stitch. Then increase in the next stitch. Again in the next 5 stitches 1 single crochet in each stitch, and I'll follow this pattern throughout the whole round, making 42 single crochets in the 7th round. Now for the 8th round, I'm going to make the increase in the first stitch, that is 2 single crochets in the same stitch. Then in the next 6 stitches I'm gonna make 1 single crochet in each stitch. One, two, three, 4, 5 and 6. Then again increase in the next stitch. Then in the next 6 stitches 1 single crochet in each stitch. Again in the next stitch the increase, and again in the next 6 stitches 1 single crochet in each stitch, and I'll follow this pattern all over the 8th round. There will be 48 single crochets in this 8th round, and I have completed the 8th round, and after this I'll not increase anymore. So I have 48 single crochets in my last round. After this I'll just make the shape of the head. So I'll make 1 single crochet in each stitch from 9th round to 16th round. So for 8 rounds I'm going to make 1 single crochet in each stitch. Now if you see these two dolls, there is a bit of size difference in these two heads. That's because for this bigger head I made 48 single crochets for the last increased row, and for this I made 36 single crochets in the last increased row. That is, I stopped increasing at the 6th round for this head. Thereafter I started shaping the head, but for this head I stopped increasing at the 8th row. That's why this head is a bigger shape and this is a smaller shape, but the bodies are of the same size. So the size of the head will depend on you. It's up to your preferences, whichever head you like for your bear. So as I said, from 9th round to the 16th round I'm going to make 1 single crochet in each stitch. So I'm gonna make 8 rounds of 1 single crochet in each stitch, that is 42 single crochets in each round, and that's a lot of stitches. So I'll come back after I made after I finished the 16th stitch. So stay tuned. I have completed my 16th round. Okay, now it's time for the decrease. Just like we increase, the same pattern, but instead of increasing stitches we will be make decreasing stitch. So in the next 6 stitches I'm gonna make 1 single crochet in each stitch. 1 2 3 4 5 6. Then in the next 2 stitches I'll make invisible decrease. Again in the next 6 stitches I'm gonna make, again in the next 6 stitches, 1 single crochet in each stitch. 1 2 3 4 5 6, and then decrease in the next 2 stitches. If you don't know how to make the invisible decrease, I'm making invisible decrease here. I made a video of that previously, so I'll leave the link in the description, and I'll follow this pattern all over this round. 17th round. 5 6, hold on, I forgot how many single crochet I did it. 1 2 3 4 5 and 6. After 6 single crochets I'll make the decreasing stitch, and I'll follow this pattern all over this 17th round, and there will be total of 42 single crochets in this round. After the 17th round, for the 18th round, in the next 5 stitches I'll make 1 single crochet in each stitch, and 5. Let's count again. 1 2 3 4 5. After 5 single crochets I'll decrease in the next 2 stitches. Again in the next 5 stitches, 1 single crochet in each stitch. 4 5 1 2 3 4 5. Then after 5 single crochets I'll decrease, and I'll follow this pattern all over the 18th round. So there will be 36 single crochets in this round. For the 19th round, in the next 4 stitches I'm gonna make 1 single crochet in each stitch, and then decrease in the next 2 stitches, and again in the next 4 stitches 1 single crochet in each stitch, and decrease in the next 2 stitch. So I'll follow this pattern all over the 19th round, and there will be 30 stitches in this round. In the 20th round I'm gonna make in the next 3 stitches I'm gonna make 1 single crochet in each stitch, then decrease in the next 2 stitches. Again in the next 3 stitches 1 single crochet in each stitch, and then decrease, and in this 20th round there will be 24 single crochets. Round 21st round I'll make, in the next 2 stitches I'll make 1 single crochet in each stitch, and then decrease. Again in the next 2 stitches 1 single crochet in each stitch, and decrease thereafter, and I'll follow this pattern. There will be 18 single crochets in this round, and our head is finished. The 21st round is our will be our last round. Now I'll fasten off and leave a small tail because I don't need more, because I left a long tail in this body. I'll cut my yarn here. Now I'll show you how to make the hands and the ears and the tail here. Now I'll show you how to make the hands, ears and the small tail. To make the hands, first make a magic ring, chain 1 to secure it. Then inside this magic ring I'll make 6 single crochets. Then tighten this magic ring. For the second row, there you go. So in the first stage I'll make 2 single crochet. In the first stage I'll make 2 single crochets. In the second stage 1 single crochet. Again in the next stage, the increase, 2 single crochets. In the next stage 1 single crochet, and for the last time in the next stage 2 single crochets, and in the next stitch 1 single crochet, and our second row is complete. For the second row I made 9 single crochets and I increased in every other stitches. Now I will add my stitch marker before starting the third round. From third round to the 7th round, that is 5 rounds. For 5 rounds I'll make 1 single crochet in each stitch. So in each round there will be 9 single crochets, and I'll be doing 5 rounds of 9 single crochets. I'll come back after I finished my 7th round. And I have completed my 7th round, and after 7th round I'll fasten off and leave a long tail because I have to sew 2 times. I'll show you how. So I'll leave this amount of yarn and then pull out the stitch marker also. I'll sew this 2 together like this, but before that I have to put some filling in, just very small amount to just fill out this bottom part. If you fill too much, the hand will stuck up. So I'll put this fillers in. I don't need that much, so I'll tear it out. Like that. Now I'll put my needle in. Hey! And sew this together. Just put your needles where you put your hooks, just below the stitches. You can do slip stitch instead of the swing, but I don't like that because it looks bulky if I do slip stitches, so I prefer sewing. And the last one. and there you go. I'll not tie a knot here because I have to sew it to the body, so I'll just pull out. Now it's time for the hair. Now it's time for the ear. For the ear, first make a magic ring, then chain 1 to secure the magic ring, and 6 single crochets inside the magic ring. 3, 4, 5 and 6. After 6 single crochets, tighten the magic ring. Then for the second round, in each stitch I'll make 2 single crochets. So for the second round I'm increasing in every stitch so that there will be 12 single crochets in this second round. For the third round, I'll increase in every other stitch. So in the first stitch 1 single crochet, in the next stitch 2 single crochets, again in the next stitch 1 single crochet, and in the next stitch 2 single crochets. So I'm increasing in every other stitches, and there will be 18 single crochets in the third round. For 4 to 6 round, I'll make 1 single crochet in each stitch. So total of 3 rounds, and in each round there will be 18 single crochets. I'll come back after I finish the 6th round, and I finished the 6th round and my ear is ready. I'll pull out the stitch marker here and fasten off and leave a long chain because I have to sew again twice. And for ear I have to take a bit longer. And I don't need to fill up the ear. Put my needle in. Place the 2 sides together like this and sew them just like this. You can also slip stitch, but as I said, I don't like to do slip stitch because it looks bulkier to me. And I find hard to sew them after doing slip stitch. That's it. Now when you are sewing them, don't pull too hard. So my 2 pairs of ear, where did it go? Okay, so my 2 pair of ear, 2 pair of hands are ready. I just need the tail. So for the tail, I'll make a magic ring, chain 1 to secure it, and inside this magic ring I'll make 6 single crochets again. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and close the magic ring. And for the second round I'll increase in every other stitches. So in the first stitch I'll make 2 single crochets. In the next stitch 1 single crochet. In the next stitch again 2 single crochets. In the next stitch 1 single crochet, and I don't know, I forgot, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And for the last time 2 single crochets, and the next stitch 1 single crochets, making 9 single crochets in the second round. Now for 3 and 4 fourth round. For the third and fourth round, I'll make one single crochet in each stitch. So in the third and fourth round, there will be 9 single crochets. And my tail is ready, and I'm gonna do the fasten off and leave a tail to see you later. Now my every part of the teddy is ready. Now I'll fill up the head, the body and the tail later on, but mainly the body and the head. Then I'll show you how to put them together. And I have filled out the head, the body. You have to fill out not too soft. You have to fill in the head and the body, not too soft, not too hard, but firm enough to hold the shape of the head and the body. Now I'll put in my needle in the tail of the body. Now I'll sew the body and the head together with ladder stitch. I'm finding where my last stitch is. Here. You can start anywhere, but I like to start from where I finished, where I fasten off my head here, and I'll make ladder stitches like this from, I hope you can see, from this stitch to this stitch like this, and then here this stitch to this stitch. Again in the body, this is my last thread. In the next 2 stitches like this. Again in the head, this is the last thread, and in the next 2 stitches I'll put my needle in. Now I'll just tighten my thread like this, and I'll continue doing this. Checking that everything's okay and in place. Now I'll just finish off the final stitch there. put my needle. I don't like to put my thread in the head because the head's shape gets damaged, so I'll put it through my body, not my body, the toy's body, and then make it through a couple of times, and that's it, and cut my thread. The body is attached to the head. Now it's time for the hands. Just over the legs, and in the second round, this is the first round of the body, and in the second round I'll join the hands in the second round. If you want, you can pin the hands and then sew it, but I'll just sew mine like this. Later I'll tighten the yarn a bit there. I'll do the next hand the same way. My hands are sewn also. Now it's time for the ears. Now for ears, I'll use my pins just over these hands like this. Make a straight line like this, then find your desired position and pin them. As you can see, I have sewn the first ear. Now I'll sew the second one. And that's it. I'll put my needle through the head a couple of times and make sure that you are not pulling your thread quite hard, because you will damage the shape of your head. That's it. I'll not do anymore. Cut the yarn here, and the two ears are attached. Now it's time for the tail. For tail, I'll take just this amount of fiber and roll it. This is too much. Very small amount of fiber, and roll it in my hands to make a small ball like this, and put it inside this tail like this, and then find the good place pin it up. I put my needle in. Then just sew them in through the stitches, the front loops of the stitches. Now I'll attach the tail and then embroider the eyes, and I'll not if you see my other videos, then you know that I'm very horrible at embroidering and I need too much time to embroider the eyes and the mouth and the nose perfectly. So I'll not embarrass myself and show my embroidery skill on the video. I'll embroider the eyes and the nose and mouth in the backstage of this video. Through the body a couple of times. Looks like it will look like this, but I'll show you guys again how it looks like. So this is the way it will look like after embroidering the eyes, nose and the mouth. And I used pins to decide where I want my eyes, mouth and nose. If you want, you can use other designs for the eyes, and you can place them in different places and see whichever you like. And if you like this video, please hit the like button and share with your friends. And to see more crochet related video, please hit the subscribe button and click on the bell icon. Goodbye.